Hello. Good to see everybody on this beautiful, beautiful day. Let's make sure I got a good sound on here. Let's turn it up. How y'all doing today? I am elated because I'm about to be sharing with you all some information that you need to learn, that you need to grow in, that you need to start to practice. And a lot of people don't have the information. And it's simple. I'm going to make it as simple as possible for you, but I want to make sure that you go into the end of this year, into the next year, making healthier choices. I'm looking down at some of those who are joining. So awesome. Hello. I'm not going to spend too much time greeting you all. I love you. Hello. And it's for the sake for those who are going to watch the replay. But I do want to start to give you some information about the topic that I'm going to be talking about today, which is what in the world should I eat? And a lot of people don't know what to eat because there's like so much, the pendulum swings back and forth. One day something is right, the next day is not. We should do this, then the next day is that. And a lot of the guidelines that we're getting are not coming from a lot of scientific based research, but particularly from lobbyists, honestly, that gives money for campaigns to be able to come out with the results that they want the results to be. And so I think the food guideline and the food industry, they take us on a journey and then we come to find out that things have been wrong. And so I just want to simplify it. I want to make it very simple for you so that you can understand really how to biohack your health, how to hack your health, how to hack disease that could be happening in your body. And I just want to give you some information on that. And I want to start by saying, listen, everybody's biological makeup is very different. I do believe in biological individuality. Some people do well with certain foods and other people don't. There could be a food that's healthy that is an allergen to another person. And so finding out what your healthiest meal plan should look like on a day-to-day basis is a journey that takes some time. And so you have to build the level of knowledge. So I'm not telling you to have all this information down packed right away at all. And I'm happy you all are listening, but I'm not telling you to ignore your body, your process, your journey, and to be self-aware. One of the things that I do know is that usually, and this is not all the time, but usually when someone is ready to live healthy, okay, they a lot of times just say, I'm giving up meat, I'm going vegetarian. Now, I'm not against vegetarians. I'm not against meat eaters. I'm not against vegans, or I'm not against whatever your diet is. But let me help you to question yourself and make sure that whatever diet you're on, for example, do you feel healthy? Do you feel energy? Do you feel vibrant? If you are a vegetarian and you are overweight, then there's a problem. And so what I don't want you to do is listen to what the industry has said and stick to it when you're still not getting the results that you need. It doesn't make sense to be a diabetic and to be overweight and be a vegetarian and still say, I'm supposed to be a vegetarian. Something is wrong. And we have to listen to our bodies and to understand. I know plenty of vegetarians who are unhealthy, overweight, have inflammation, diabetes. As a matter of fact, in certain countries, there's an epidemic. And the reason why is because just because you're a vegetarian does not mean that you eat healthy. You could have replaced healthy meat for carbs and sugar and starch and potatoes and pasta and bread and cake, all right, and candy and juice. I think we're limited in our information because most people just feel like go vegetarian when it's time to get healthy, or let me give up beef and pork. That may be good to some people. That may heal the body to some people, but know how you feel. I personally cannot go vegetarian. I'm not a vegetarian. I have to eat meat. I love my healthy saturated fats and my omega threes, and so and I feel better. I've gone now. I do abstain from meat for periods of time, sometimes just to give my organs a break. But it makes me feel healthier. It makes me feel better, and I pay attention to my body. And so I'm not an advocate for either. I'm an advocate for finding out your biological individuality and the system that your body allows you to have, and be able to hack into it and eat the healthiest foods that make you feel the most vibrant and show you the results, and prove to you, because the acne clears up, the inflammation and the pain goes away, your blood sugar is not elevated anymore, you're not having symptoms of depression or anxiety, you're able to sleep at night. Be aware of what is happening in your body. Okay. And so I want to say that, because a lot of people will still do things that they think is healthy, and they're not healthy. And so I just want to go through some guidelines of some things that you can do. And I had to prompt with saying that, because the things that I'm about to share are for the most part, I think most people can agree on. The industry will fight about a lot of things, but there's some things that they won't fight about. And so I've known people who've done extreme things, like gone on, and I've studied this, gone on all meat diet. Now, vegetarians would be really upset to hear this, but there were some people where certain plants were actually affecting their body in a negative way. And so I've known people who have gone on 2 months of eating nothing but meat and fats and steak and grass-fed burgers, nothing else. No, nothing else. Every day, straight meat and beef. They usually stick to one type of meat. And 20 years of depression left them. Autoimmune reversed. Because there can be some healthy attributes that come from something like that short term. I'm not saying this is good for everybody, but I'm just saying there are some things out the box, and you can't have an opinion about it. And so, I'm just saying, don't have such a strict mindset when it comes to what works. But understand there are some scientific research studies that show certain things work. I love the ketogenic diet. I don't think it's a sustainable diet. I personally don't recommend someone to go on keto for the rest of their life. My question to you is, can you do that for the rest of your life? And so the things that I'm going to share, you have to know that you need to sustain these things. You need to be able to say, I can create a lifestyle from doing these things. Okay. I love keto, though. I actually recommend it for losing weight and for reversing diabetes and for getting rid of disease. I love it, but I'm not going to be on keto for the rest of my life, because I have to have carbs. My lifestyle somewhat requires a little bit of carbs. My body requires a little bit of carbs. Now, they're going to be healthy carbs. I love it. I love keto, but I like recommending it for short periods. And I like recommending sometimes, just, making sure you detox, you don't got to eat carbs every day. There's some days I don't eat any carbs. So I could go on a keto for a week or a few days or whatever, and switch my body into ketosis. But I'm not going to stay there, because I enjoy carbs and it's not sustainable for me. It may be sustainable for you. So the question is, are you able to do keto for the rest of your life and not eat any carbs? Okay. Yes or no? All right. So what we need to focus on is not we're looking to doctors to figure out how to become well. And the problem is, when they go to med school, there's no 101. There's not a class on how to get the body well, how to be a well human, in your body and in your function. They don't have classes like that. They learn symptoms. And the problem is that we look at symptoms. We go through symptoms and we say, okay, this is a symptom. And then we treat the symptom and we don't treat the causes. And so we need to go to the roots and understand, why are we sick? Okay, looking at the branches and the leaves are not going to get there, but we have to go to the root and figure out, how do we get sick? How do we get here? Like, what's making us sick? Okay. And so we got to know the fundamental drivers of disease, because a lot of people, as they go about their day-to-day function with what they eat, that's what we usually wind up in. And one of the things that we can all agree in addition to that, we're looking at organs instead of our entire body. We just need to look at our entire body. But one of the things that I do know is that pre-diabetes and obesity is causing a lot of diseases. Okay. So we are in an epidemic with when it comes to disease and pre-diabetes and obesity. And of course, that comes with a whole lot of other things. And one of the driving forces is food. Now, I do know that there's so many other things, environmental factors, stress. If you're looking at most of the things that causes us to either be healthy or not, we're looking at like microbes, allergens, toxins, our diet, and stress. And so if we can get an alignment on all of these different things, then I think we can reverse and we can biohack our bodies back into some healthy living. Now, when we try to understand what it is that we're supposed to be eating, we have to get it from scientific research and not from what somebody just told you. And I'm going to throw out a few myths that that the industry have put out there to scare us and to steer us really in the wrong direction. But we have to look at scientific research as our guideline, not lobbyists who pay $500 million on a milk campaign. Okay. And so we have to look at certain research that goes all the way back, which I love research. I read it. Most doctors don't. Some I'm sure they do, but a lot of doctors don't. They just prescribing medicine to people to get them out their office, to keep them a little bit of, still sick and coming back for more. But you have to look at everything all the way from the time that you was in your mother's womb. Did your mom take antibiotics? Did she get immunizations? Did she give you immunizations as a baby? Was there trauma? Was there a C-section? Did she breastfeed you, or did you get regular milk? You have to kind of look back into those type of questions. And a lot of scientific research, they go back into that type of stuff. They're not just throwing stuff out there and just saying, whatever they want to say to get you to, buy into whatever it is that they're doing. And so when we look at scientific research, which is where I get my information, we come to a place where we can treat disease and we can optimize our health the way that we need to. Okay. So we have to look at these factors. Now, I encourage you so very much to not only for yourself, to understand this information, but for those around you. And I'm going to throw something to you real quick that you need to consider. You are about 190% more likely to become obese if you have friends around you that are obese. More likely to become obese with friends around you than even your family. If you have family that's obese that you're around, you're only 40% more likely. So your friends are an influence to your health. Now, I'm not saying anything about anybody who is struggling with obesity, because honest to God, I don't think that it's always their fault. That they, it's so much psychological input and the addiction and the chemicals that they're putting in food to make us addicted. That all plays a part. But what I am saying is, if your friend who is unhealthy make unhealthy choices and you're around them, then it's going to, it's going to pour over and it's going to spill over. It's almost like being in a relational toxic relationship with someone who's negative or bitter or angry or gossip so much. That stuff is going to go to you. Either you're going to influence them or they're going to influence you. So I'm just saying this to say, don't go on this journey alone. You can get there quicker by yourself, but you will go further with other people by your side. Okay. So I don't want you to do this for yourself, to take your health serious for yourself, but I want you to do it for the sake of those around you and to be able to encourage them, because I really want to see people grow in their health, because I do believe that it is vital to everything that they do in life. And I'm super serious about that. And to me, I am willing to do as much education as I need to do. I feel obligated. I feel responsible. I feel a burden to make people healthy. Now, let me ask you this question. I am a Christian. If you know me, you know I'm a Christian. And I know a lot of Christians, and Christians are very unhealthy. And I think it's really not good to be unhealthy as a Christian. And so that's why I want to do something about that also, because I feel like, God has created us with a purpose, a calling, and I just don't think we're going to get there if we're not healthy. Okay. So my question to a Christian would be, if you invited Jesus over for dinner, what would you cook him? Would you hand him some Oreo cookies and a soda? Or would you, what would you make for him? And if you're eating the junk, that you're eating, and you say that, God lives inside of you, then why are you feeding your body, the body that God lives inside, junk? Okay. So what would you feed Jesus if he came over for dinner? I mean, that would be an amazing thing, but what would you hand him? You know what I'm saying? So would you hand him a big old sloppy pizza with flour on it, a big old plate of pasta, some, all of this stuff that he never created? Would you hand him food that he never created? Why would you hand him food that he didn't create? So this is where we start, with understanding. Here is the thing, food is medicine. And I think we need to look at it like that. Sometimes, I'll eat sometimes I eat salad in a tasty way, but sometimes I just eat it just like it is. I literally pick it up and put it in my mouth like a whole big salad bowl. And my husband will be like, well, why are you just eating salad like that? Why are you eating leaves? And I'm like, because it's healthy for me. I look at food as medicine. If you get a headache, you go to take a pill, you're trying to get yourself well. I'm not going to wait till I get a headache to try to get myself well. I know that food is not just calorie for calorie. Food is information to my body. It's telling my body, you're going to get better or you're going to get worse. You're going to get inflammation. You're going to get diabetes. You're going to get cancer. You're going to get, it's sending information to my body. And so I needed to send my body the right information, and I want you to do the same thing. Hippocrates, a philosopher, remember, who studied medicine, said, let thy food be thy medicine and thy medicine be thy food. Food is the greatest power of medicine and has the greatest ability to reverse disease more than any other medicine in the entire world. And we have to look at food like in that way. All right. So how do we undo this? Obviously, we stop putting things in our body that causes stress, that are stressors to our body, and we start adding things that could get us healed. Okay. Let me prompt really quickly before I go into some things that you should not be putting in your body. I do not eat perfect. Bingo. And I'm not asking nobody to eat perfect. I'm probably asking you to make good choices 70% of the time. And I believe if you make good choices 70% of the time, then you will start to see a difference in your health and in your body. Okay. So now if you do have a disease, yes, sometimes you get to a place where you can't do 70-30. You got to go all in 100% and just, reverse it and then bring it back around to some moderation. Okay. So I love to enjoy certain things, but do I go crazy? Do I get out of whack? If I'm eating a steak, do I eat a ribeye and potatoes or French fries with it? No, I don't. Okay, so I'm going to eat the steak and I'm going to eat some vegetables. I'm going to eat some salad. So you just got to know, what you need to have some balance with that. Now, let me go through really, really quickly a few misunderstandings, okay, so that you don't have nutritional whiplash. Now, a couple of the myths that we first need to start with is breakfast. Okay, let's start there because they said breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Now, I'm not saying that breakfast is not the most important meal of the day, but I'm saying let's redefine what breakfast is. First of all, breakfast is breaking your fast because when you go to sleep at night, you are fasting. So I don't think you should break your fast the moment you wake up in the morning. I do think that people should wait at least a couple of hours to finally eat or whatever, because I think that they'll, expand their fasting time. Okay. But it's breaking a fast. It doesn't matter if you break the fast soon as you get up at 7 a.m. or as soon as you get up at 5 a.m., or if you do it at 2 p.m., it's breaking the fast. That is one of the most important things that you need to know about what food do you put in your body when you break your fast, okay? Now, would you suggest that somebody break their fast with a piece of caramel cake and a soda? I think you all will all say no, because we're going to use some common sense and some scientific research for this, okay? Would you suggest that every time somebody get up, they break their fast with a caramel cake and some soda? No. Okay. I don't think anybody would say yes. Here is the first food issue. We are eating dessert for breakfast. Oh, you're not eating a caramel cake, but you're eating donuts, pancakes with syrup, waffles. Bagels with jelly on top. We're eating dessert for breakfast. And then wonder why our appetites are distorted all day. Why? Because, first of all, when you put sugar in your body after you break a fast, your blood sugar is going to go sky high. Your insulin levels are going to get going. You are going to wind up triggering your hungry levels into your brain is going to have chemicals going through it. Your body's going to be out of whack. And guess what? The rest of your day is going to be messed up. Let's just add the coffee with the, frappuccinos and caramel macchiato. We're eating dessert for breakfast. All the sugar. You break your fast with a bunch of sugar for breakfast, cereal and milk. Just straight dessert. This is dessert. When you're eating French toast with syrup all on there and all of this stuff, but when you break your fast, you're eating dessert and you're taking your body into a complete turmoil, a place of turmoil. And your insulin levels going up and down, blood sugar, you stressing the body out. Your metabolic function is going to be off. You're not going to be able to burn any fat. You're going to keep getting hungry because of the insulin levels and the sugar highs and then the sugar drops. You are going to set yourself up for failure. So the first rule is you got to break your fast with something healthier. And statistically, those who break their fast with protein or healthy fat are those who actually lose weight the quickest, and it starts your day well. Now, again, I do encourage intermittent fasting. So I do say that people should at least wait a couple of hours to eat before they wake up, for their body to push that fast back. But eating like eggs, turkey, bacon, avocados, a omelet with, maybe some spinach and, protein, healthy fat. Eating something like that in the morning is much healthier. And here's the thing. What happens is we may know that donuts are bad. So then we go to oatmeal. Okay. Oatmeal, yes, it's better than a donut, but oatmeal is still going to spike your insulin levels. It's going to raise your blood sugar. It's going to mess up your metabolic function. It's not good. It's got sugar in it. And the industry will get you hooked on something and they introduce something else like oatmeal. It's much better. And so it's like they put you in a position where they make you feel good enough to eat what you're eating, but they still make sure that it's bad enough to cause deterioration in your body. And so, no, oatmeal is not good. Now, oat bran may be better, but it's just not good to break your fast with sugar. Okay. Now, I'm not saying if you're on vacation or every once in a while you're going out with your family on a weekend. I'm not saying that you can't do that. Again, we're talking. I'm asking for 70% of the time for you to make healthier choices. So no, carbs are not good to break your fast because of the sugar. And so you need to find a healthier way to break your fast. Again, protein and high fats are the best way to break your fast. Okay. You don't want to put yourself in a situation to be hungrier all throughout the day and stress your body out and not allow your body to be able to burn fat the way it needs to. So let's start with some protein, something healthier in the morning. Don't start your breakfast with carbs. Don't start your breakfast with pancakes, waffles, and syrup and, donuts and coffee with cream and sugar in it. Don't start your day like that. Okay. That's going to make you sick. It's going to make you sick over time. It's going to give you inflammation. And then, by the way, if you are working out in the morning, you probably should try your best to work out on a fasted stomach so that your body can utilize that fat for energy and help you to burn a lot more fat. Okay. Here's another, thing that happened with the lobbyists is the milk campaign where it said, hey, kids need to drink 3 glasses of milk a day and adults need to do 2. Got milk? That whole campaign was not based off scientific research. Milk has not been found to be good. Milk has not been found to strengthen your bones and your immune system and all. As a matter of fact, milk has been found to cause digestive issues, cause fractures in the bone, cause a weak immune system, weight gain, and even autoimmune disease. And I know people who have had so many health issues that they didn't realize was coming from dairy. First of all, 75% of the world is lactose intolerant, and they don't know it. And they may be drinking milk and they may be having all these issues and don't even know it's coming from the milk because of this campaign that said you need to drink milk to get healthy. And the process and the synthetic process that they put milk through is they strip all the probiotics out. That's all the digestive enzymes. They strip it out. They strip out the healthy fats that's in it. They strip out the vitamin D3 that comes from raw milk. And they turn it into synthetic D2. D2 has been found to be linked with all kind of heart issues. And this is what we're drinking every day thinking it's well. We're drinking milk. Well, I don't drink milk. It's disgusting. My body doesn't like it. It's, I just don't like it. I'm not saying that you can't. You should, if you're doing dairy, you can do sheep's or goat. I would do grass fed. But be careful when it comes to the milk, because milk could be causing issues that you really don't know that it's causing. And you may be drinking and you may be dealing with all these health issues and you don't know that it's coming from a milk. And then let me tell you, because this is again what they do. They do the campaign and then they come with something healthier. So then it's drink skim milk. Oh, now we got the same bad milk, but we're stripping even more fat from it. And guess what? The studies connected to skim milk, kids gained weight. They were still hungry, so they ate more. And it's because they don't have enough healthy fats to sustain them in their appetite. And so skim milk is worse than regular whole milk. So if you just got a milk addiction, please don't drink skim milk. Okay. This is what they told us. Saturated fats were bad. And so there's campaigns about that. No link with cholesterol and saturated fats to any kind of heart disease. And so then they introduced the low fat diet. I'm telling you, you don't need a low fat diet. A low fat diet will mess up your nervous system. It will restrict your brain from having the amount of cholesterol and fat because your brain is made up of a lot of fat. Your organs, everything about your body is made up with healthy fats. And so when you go on a low fat diet, you strip yourself. You're going to find yourself delirious, tired, having memory problems. Men's testosterone levels go down. You have all kind of issues when you strip yourself of the cholesterol that you need. And so what I'm telling you is that you do need some healthy fats and you do need some saturated fats. And it's okay. There is no link between, as a matter of fact, they've done studies where cholesterol, people who have high cholesterols, they take statin drugs, right? That's what the doctors give them. Well, those who had low cholesterol, and or they took the statin drugs and to lower their cholesterol, those people actually wind up dying before people who had high cholesterol who didn't take anything. They just kept their cholesterol high. So what the statin drugs do is reduce the cholesterol. So they say go on a low-fat diet to reduce your cholesterol and take these statin drugs, and then their cholesterol shot down. And actually, too low of cholesterol is more dangerous statistically than high cholesterol. People who had even 500 on their cholesterol, they outlived those who lowered their cholesterol and was on statin drugs. And so we have to, and I'm not telling you to go against any of your doctor's orders. All I'm doing is telling you about the research, okay? There's no research that puts cholesterol with heart disease. Heart disease happens because of sugar. Sugar clogs the arteries. Sugar and starch, a high sugar starch diet, which is what people are eating. So that is statistical. That is what's causing weight gain and people to, it's not fat. So if you came off of meat because of the saturated fats, I would suggest that you go back and learn some more, because you might have put your body and your life in a worse scenario. Okay. Now, of course, because of the saturated fat, they came at the eggs. Now we got to do egg whites, and we can't do the yolk. Why? Because it's full of cholesterol. Guess what? It's full of vitamins and all of that too. And that's an issue. And so I'm telling you, eggs are very healthy. There are no studies that show eggs to be a problem. Eggs are one of the healthiest foods you can eat. I would say grass-fed eggs, of course. So I would, or the, organic eggs, I would say, not grass-fed. Organic eggs is what you should do. But there are no studies that show eggs to be bad. There are actually, I know men and doctors, and I'm talking about naturopathic kind of doctors, nutritional people, healthy people who eat 5 eggs a day. Guess what? I know a man at 80 something who eat 25 eggs a day. 25 eggs a day because he want to keep his testosterone levels high. There's no link, no studies that have anything to do with that. That is because of the saturated fats agenda. And that comes again from lobbyists who pay money to do research that is biased. Even the research, again, and I think some people should be vegetarians. If meat don't do your body good, don't do it. But most of even the studies, when they tried to come at the meat, they was just trying to come at the meat so that people can still eat sugar. Because they know that if you strip away the fat from somebody else's life, you're going to strip away their ability to have enough fat to make them feel full. And so then they're going to run to more carbs and stuff because they're not full. And so they're hungry. I want bread. You get more hungry if you're not eating healthy fats. And so that was the agenda, to again come after the fats. And so it pushed people into again becoming vegetarians because they're like, I don't want to, the saturated fats are connected to heart disease and things like that. And so just again, be careful if you are, because the studies, even that they did on meat eaters, they tried to conclude that the meat eaters were sick. But the reason why the meat eaters was sick is because it was psychologically meant to be a bad thing to eat meat. So people who ate meat were usually people who also had a very bad diet. So they're eating meat and they're eating a bunch of bad foods with the meat, and they can't identify that it's the sugar that caused them probably more of the trauma to their body than the actual meat. But they blamed it on the meat. And so again, just know your why and get down to the root of that. And just know that if you are a vegetarian and you healthy and you feel good and you vibrant, then it's for you. Don't stop doing it. But if you are a vegetarian and you're overweight and you're sick and you got pain and you got inflammation and things are going wrong with your body, I would suggest you restructure what you're eating. Okay. Another thing they told you is in the genes, but your genes are exposed to so many things, including the food, air, toxins, whatever. Your genes are exposed, but the expression of your genes can be changed. So don't think that if someone say, well, it's in the genes, then that's you can't do nothing about it. It's a lie. You can do something about it. And most of the time it's not in the genes, it's in the habits. If Big Mama cooked a certain way to cause you to be big, and you eating dessert with every meal, and there's diabetes that run in the family, it's probably because y'all all eating the same. Okay, it's not probably in the genes, it's because you're eating the same. It's in the habits. So be very careful not to let somebody make you think that there's something is in the genes and you just can't do anything about it. You can't turn things around. Okay. Now here's a few things that I want you to consider not eating. And then I'll get to the simplistic way of like, just, this is what you should do, period. Okay. Here's just a few things. All right. I wrote a list down. Processed foods, of course. Manufacturers, they put junk in the food. That's why it's low. That's why processed foods are low, because it costs them less money to make. But if it costs less money to make, then they put more things to have more of a shelf life, and it's just junk in there. So watch foods that are processed, because foods that are processed have things in them that will cause all kind of problems with your body. Okay, so be careful not to eat a bunch of processed foods. Now, can you go 100% no process? Probably not. I would not even say that to you. It's not even realistic. I'm not that person to not be real. Like, you're going to eat some processed foods, okay? It's just, if you don't, you can't ever go out ever again to any restaurant, to any place. I mean, it's just not possible. But it is possible to start to limit your processed foods, okay? Watch out also for artificial sweeteners. It said that the average person consumes 152 pounds of sugar a year. Oh my goodness. Artificial sweeteners that we think are healthier, they're actually much sweeter, and they get you more addicted to the sweetness, so that when you go back to cane sugar or sugar that's like in juice and pop, you actually drink more of it because you have a higher tolerance now. And so this is why we're consuming all of this. And you know what I will tell you right away, give up pop. If you don't do nothing else today, I'm gonna call you to one action. Give up pop. Don't drink diet pop. It has aspartame in it, and it is so bad for your body. There is no such thing as healthy pop. Give it up. Drink some sparkling water. Drink some kombucha tea. It sparkles too. But give up pop today. I'm telling y'all, people are dying. Okay? People are dying. And this stuff is sensitive to me. People are dying because of pop. They are. I know somebody who actually died because she drank too much pop. She left behind 7 children. You're not going to be perfect with this, but you got to make some choices for your life, for your career, for your children, for your grandchildren, for your friends, for your family, for those who are close to you. You have got to make some changes. We are not going to be sitting up dying like this, dropping dead, getting cancer and diabetes and heart disease and all of this stuff that's happening. And I'm not saying that it can't happen because of environmental issues and things that we don't know about. Like maybe me being on my cell phone all day, it causes problems. I know people who put their cell phone in their, used to keep them next to their breasts, wind up with breast cancer in the same. That's why I don't keep my cell phone on me. And here's a true story really quickly. And I'm going to get back to this real quick. I started having heart palpitations really bad, like every day, all day, to the point where I had to wear a heart monitor. Okay. I had to wear a heart monitor because my heart was skipping beats all day. Then I had a friend come to me and say, I read an article that talked about the Apple Watch and said that it was connected to anxiety and heart palpitations. I said, oh, that's strange. I did the heart monitor. Doctor's like, it ain't nothing wrong. Everything looks good. Took all kind of tests. I'm telling you, took all kind of tests. Okay. Cause you know me, I went to like 4-5 naturopathic doctors. I mean, I went crazy, y'all, because you know how I am. I took off the Apple Watch. And when I tell you I was having heart palpitations for like all day, especially when I exercise, and it just was so uncomfortable. When I took that Apple Watch off, immediately my heart palpitations went away. Immediately. So it's just stuff we don't know. that do things to our body. And I'm not saying it's going to do it to you. I'm not in a campaign against the Apple Watch or nothing like that. I'm just telling you my story. So there are so many other things that we don't always know. I am always researching. I'm always studying, and I'm going to always give whatever I know. I'm going to give it all to you. I vow to do that because I need people to get healthy. I can't sit back and do nothing about stuff like this. And so that's why I am, and some of you all got the emails. I am creating a movement so we can come together and become healthy. I want it more than anything. Okay. For you. So let's continue. I just insert to say that there's other things, but all I'm saying is the things that you have control of. I didn't have control. I didn't have that knowledge. I didn't know it was coming from the Apple Watch. But I'll tell you one thing, I don't sleep with my phone on me. I don't put it in my pocket no more. It stays in my purse, stays on the side of my bed away from, I don't like putting it up to me too much. I barely like holding it now. So I'm paying much attention to that. All right, food coloring, additives, nitrates and nitrites. If y'all eating lunch meat, that stuff is chemically bad for your brain. And really for our brains, we put like 3 to 5 pounds a year of chemicals in our system and pesticides. And, so you got to be careful. Make sure that if you're going to eat meat, bacon, things like that, that is organic, and that it says no nitrates and no nitrites. Okay. So because those are chemicals that deteriorate your brain. Okay. So, aerosol, canned foods. Let's be careful about the canned foods. Not good. Hydrogenated oils. That's the type of oils that clog your arteries up, get hard, and have hardening arteries. Okay. It's not good when your arteries are hardened like that. And it comes from hydrogenated oils. BPA found in bottles, water bottles, aspartame. Again, $7 billion on soda a year. I ain't even gonna go there. And anything just basically genetically modified, any fake butter. Real butter is really good. They told you it wasn't. Butter and lard is actually okay. MCT oil, coconut oil, all of that. Get rid of stuff that says corn fructose syrup. It's really bad. It goes straight to your liver. It causes a fatty liver. It doesn't even get processed. That's how bad it is. So be careful. And fruit has fructose in it. So even be careful with too much fruit. I'm not saying fruit is good, but some fruit is good. But be careful with too much fruit. And here's another thing. Ingredients that have like more than 5 to 7, or things that have more than 5 to 7 ingredients in it, because once you get to like more than 5 to 7 ingredients, they're not whole foods in there anymore. Like if you have, if you got guacamole being made and it's like onions, tomatoes, avocados, salt, pepper. Okay, that's fine. Those are all 5 whole foods. But if you start getting to stuff like daltrextin and I don't even know how to pronounce half of them, but they're names that I can't even, maltodextrin and all of these other things that you wouldn't have in your, are you going to have maltodextrin in your cabinet? Are you going to have hydrogenated oils in your cabinet? No, you're not. So if this is something that is not going to be in your house, if you look at a chemical that's not in your house, like, do you have nitrates in your house? Like if something has nitrates and nitrites in it, you don't have that in your house. That's not a whole food. That's bad. Okay. So more than 5 to 7 ingredients, we starting to get into some super processed foods. Okay. Toss the flour. I'm sorry. Flour is not good for you. Enriched wheat, white flour, toss it, replace it with something healthier. Arrowroot, coconut flour, almond flour, brown rice flour, gluten-free flour. I'm not going to go there today to tell you what's wrong with gluten. And toss all the syrups and stuff. I got some homemade honey butter that I buy. It is much better. It's natural. It's honey butter. And it is so good on gluten-free French toast. I would never even need syrup with eating like that. So we just got to make some healthier choices. Now, what to eat simplified. Everybody's, again, body is different. They have a different system of how their food digests. You got to pay attention. If you feel bloated after broccoli, don't eat as much broccoli. Broccoli is a cruciferous vegetable. It's amazing. It's good for you. But if it makes you bloated, don't eat it. People digest things differently. Pay attention to your body, okay? But here is what to eat simplified. Eat things that are low, don't eat too much sugar and starch. Eat a plant-rich diet. Eat a lot of vegetables. I don't care. Start your food, your series of food off with vegetables, because you don't want to start off with like a burger and fries. You're not getting to a salad after a burger and fries. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be wanting after that some dessert, So let's start with the salad first. Okay. Eat the salad first. And then even like 30 minutes before you eat, drink some water. Drink, 6 to 8 ounces of water. That helps to curb your appetite, to help you out a little bit. If you eat animal meat, eat it sustainably grown or harvested, grass fed. Eat good foods with healthy fats, because that's less inflammation to your body. Healthy fats reduce the inflammation. So we're talking about nuts and seeds and avocados or guacamole or whatever, healthy guacamole, nothing with no extra chemicals. You don't need it because it's good all by itself if you like guacamole. Salmon, wild caught salmon. I like sardines, and so eat things with healthy fat, MCT oil, coconut oil. Those are good. Make sure that you're not, make sure that when you season your food, that it's with, salt, pepper, herbs. You can spice it up, thyme and oregano and rosemary. And I love cinnamon. And I actually put cinnamon and cayenne pepper. I put that in my drink every morning with some squeezed lemon and some apple cider vinegar. But you can spice it up. You can eat healthy snacks like, pickles, if they're not processed and got a bunch of junk in it, but like pickles and sauerkraut ain't nothing but pickled cabbage, and you ain't had good sauerkraut unless it's cold, and it tastes just like pickles. So if you like pickles, I don't know what kind of sauerkraut y'all been eating when you go to the hot dog place and they throw that nasty stuff on there, but real sauerkraut is good. People turn their lip up at it, but if you like pickles, you're gonna like sauerkraut. But eat healthy stuff, like maybe some hummus, chocolate, but make sure it's 70% cocoa. Nuts if you want nuts, and I'm okay with nut butters and cheese. But again, if you have a dairy problem, I would stick to grass-fed cheese if you can. So here is the bottom line. Here is the bottom line that you need to understand. You need to eat real food. It's that simple. You need to eat real food. You need to eat food that God made and not man. Did God make a Twinkie or did man make Twinkie? Okay, well, we're not going to eat much of this. And let me tell you something. That stuff I'm going to be honest. Like, I went out of town one day and they had a fried Oreo. I said, these people have gotten so creative. Now they're frying Oreos. I mean, Oreo is bad as it is, but then they fried it. And guess what? I said, you know what? I want to taste the fried Oreo. And of course, I'm going to only take a bite of it because I was curious. It was actually good. I mean, of course, it would make me sick. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't eat too much of it because even if it tastes good, my body would reject it. But it was actually, I'm like, oh my God, this is why people get addicted. It don't take nothing but a bite to get addicted to sugar. I'm telling you. But that's horrible. You know what I'm saying? You can't eat like that all the time. If you want to take a bite of something or taste something, okay, but have some discipline and don't be eating crazy. You need to eat real food. Did God make it? If God made it, you can eat it. If man made it, toss it. You know what I'm saying? Leave it behind. And so you just need to know, like, did God make a pineapple? Yeah. Did God make the steak? Yeah, because he made cows. Did God make, avocados? Yes, he made avocados. Did God make olive oil? Yes, it's squeezed from the olives. Did God make it or did man make it? Is it processed? And so that is pretty much the guideline, is that you need to be eating whole foods, eggs, and, things that are you need to eat whole foods and eggs, nuts, salmon if you eat meat, lentils, you can eat some grains and stuff, but make sure that they're complex carbs and not like simple carbs, like basically a bunch of sugar. Somebody said the Twinkie is delicious, but if you saw on YouTube how they make Twinkies, I don't know, you might rethink that, because I saw how they make Twinkies and it made me never ever. I mean, I don't eat Twinkies, but make sure that you are eating real food. And the real food, and as I always say, it's around the grocery. It's not in the aisles. It's in the produce, in the meat section, and in the dairy section. Make sure you're eating real foods and just make simple changes day by day. I can't go through the whole list of foods and stuff because, again, some foods are good to people, others aren't. But I can tell you that if it's not a whole food, it's probably not going to be well for you. And you need to start including whole foods into your diet. That is the point. Is it a real food that was made by God, or is it something that was processed, or a real food made by God and stripped down and made into something else? And those are the foods you need to start. I'm not going to tell you to get rid of nothing really other than the pop. I'm telling you to get rid of pop. I'm telling you to start eating more whole foods. Okay. And even if you like, oh, I can't afford organic or whatever. I'm telling you this, fine. You can't afford organic. Still eat whole foods. It ain't got to be organic. Eat some eggs in the morning. Eat, grass fed cheese if or eat, avocados, eat some, brown rice if you want to. Just eat real food. Eat real food, not processed, a bunch of processed food. Okay. Meat, if you're eating, some baked chicken, or if you're eating some fish, or, just eat real food. Okay. So, I hope that helped you to have like somewhat of a guideline to what it is that you need to eat. And I wanted to keep this much shorter. I hate that I had it this long. But somebody said they eat addicted to pizza. Pizza is not, I mean, I eat pizza every once in a while. I do cauliflower crusted pizza made with real ingredients. So again, I'm not telling you to be perfect. I'm just telling you to start making some changes today. Okay. I'm going to be doing some more Facebook lives. I'm going to be talking tomorrow about fasting versus eating less for all those who think that they can restrict their calories to make it well. And I'm going to give you some good pointers. I'm talking about some revolutionary pointers for your life and for your health that can really be a game changer, I think, for you, and get your health back on the right track. I'm telling you, if y'all listen to some of this stuff I'm saying and y'all just take it one day at a time, I'm telling you, you will see a change. I'm going to continue to help you as much as I can. And then Monday, I'm going to pick it up again at the same time. And I'm going to hit you with something that most people don't talk about. And I'm going to explain to you why people are always hungry. And so I'm going to help you with that. It's all going to build on top of each other. And stay tuned next week, because I'm going to be releasing more about my movement that called Health Nuts. Some of you, I got the emails about that. I'm creating a movement because I just was like, I can't do this no more. I got to get people together to journey together, because we're stronger together, to be able to get serious about our health so we can start moving this, everywhere we go. Okay. So thank you so much for listening. I didn't get a chance to do a lot of questions, and I don't want to prolong this Facebook Live, but I am going to have a complete Facebook Live with all Q&A, okay, where I'm not doing I'm just going to answer all your questions that you have. So I'm sure some of y'all did have some questions on here. Just come back, and by the time I hit next week, I'm going to do some Q&A and get all your questions answered. So save them. Make sure you join back. Tomorrow, I'll be back on here at 1:00. I hope to see you there. I love y'all. And I hope this was helpful to you and your health journey. I want you to be well, and I'm going to do everything in my possible capacity that I could do to make sure that you get where you need to get, because I'm passionate about it, and I just want you healthy, and I want to serve you. All right. I love you guys. Talk to you soon.